Good evening and welcome to the Monday, March 25th Maplewood City Council meeting. I wanted to start out tonight by talking a little bit about the Purple Line. We had an engagement meeting here over at the Maplewood Community Center. I attended. There was a great turnout. A lot of residents. There were certainly staff there as well. They are working on the route modification study, and they're in phase 2. Just for a point of reference, there is going to be a virtual open house for anyone who couldn't make the in-person at the Maplewood Community Center. You can always do a meeting virtually. That is going to be on, actually this week, excuse me, March 28th. There is also one other engagement meeting that is going to be at Ames Lake Community Room in St. Paul. That is on April 22nd. And council members, we've all been paying attention to our calendar. We know that we're going to be having an update from the Purple Line staff, from the Metro Transit folks. They're going to come in on April 22nd and give us an update. But just, I picked up one of the worksheets that they were handing out. And if you all remember when we did the engagement with Metro Transit and we were talking about the ridership, when they were previously exploring the Vento Trail, I think what they were telling us is that on average they were looking that there would be about 600 and some odd people riding the Purple Line from downtown St. Paul out to our Maplewood Transit Center, and that was on average in 2040, which, pretty low ridership numbers. What they're finding right now in terms of the White Bear option coming up White Bear Avenue, they're projecting that the ridership will be anywhere from 3,400 to 4,100 per day, and that is as it's built. A couple of things in terms of the project schedule. May of 2024, so just coming up, the preferred White Bear design corridor is going to be rolled out and talked to. We're going to have our meeting April 22nd here at our council meeting. In September of 2024, there will be a decision on the Bruce Vento Trail versus the White Bear Avenue corridor for the Purple Line. That's going to be September of 2024. Start of construction for the Purple Line is projected for 2027, and the anticipated opening of the Purple Line will be 2029. So there are just a few updates, but please, if you're interested in learning more, you can always sign up online, and you can get the newsletters that they're sending out. You can get these kinds of materials. They have them online. Or you could go virtually and attend a meeting or go to the one that's in St. Paul coming up. But please find out, participate, share your thoughts about the Purple Line. That would be great. So there you have something to look forward to, folks. Let's start our meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. City Clerk Sint, would you do our roll call, please?
Councilmember Lee.
Present.
Councilmember Villavicencio.
Here.
Councilmember Cave.
Here.
Councilmember Juniman.
Here.
Mayor Abrams.
I'm here as well. Thank you. Council members, is there a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Cave, seconded by Lee. The motion to approve the agenda. Is there any discussion? Councilmember Lee?
Yes, can I add Public Works snow plowing to council
Okay.
presentation?
Public Works. I would, Councilmember Juniman, what would you like to add?
City cleanup.
Okay. And I would like to add our city website, just a little comment about that. Okay, I think we got everybody's buttons. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. Our agenda is approved. Let's move on to approval of the minutes from the March 11th meeting. Is there a motion?
So move.
Moved by Lee, seconded by Juniman. Okay. The motion to approve the minutes from the March 11th, 2024 council meeting. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed?
Abstain.
Councilmember Cave abstained. Thank you very much. Moving on to appointments and presentations. Council calendar update. City Manager Sable, this is yours.
Thank you, Mayor and council members. Just a few items for the community and for you to be aware of. On March 30th, we have our Easter egg hunt, which you can find information on the city's website. On April 2nd, there is going to be District 622 will be doing a ribbon cutting for North High. There is an opportunity, if you check your emails, to RSVP to attend the ribbon cutting. I also want to put on folks' radar that on April 4th, the White Bear Lake Chamber is having its annual meeting. It's a breakfast meeting that you can sign up for, and if you have questions, you can reach out to me or to Lois Knudsen. I'm going to skip April 13th on spring cleanup because I think others may talk about that. And then also just want to put on your radar two items. The city uses some assistance from two regional bodies, one called Metro Cities, which lobbies on behalf of metropolitan area cities. They have their annual meeting on April 24th, and we can help you register for that. And also we use the League of Minnesota Cities to do some advocacy work for us, and they have their annual conference in June in Rochester. But if you sign up by May 3rd, we can get a discounted registration. So if you have interest in participating in the League of Minnesota Cities annual conference, I'd encourage you to let us know so we can get you signed up for that. So that is it for items for the calendar. But I do want to also forecast in an email I sent out on Friday, one of the things that the legislature has been doing lately has been talking about lots of bills related to housing. And each of them have various names, and ultimately they'll all be consolidated into sort of one large omnibus bill, but there's a couple of issues that are arising that are related to local control of zoning and land use. And so you may have read about it in the paper. There's been several op-eds about it. And so we're monitoring it through our partners at Metro Cities and the League of Minnesota Cities. We have been asked as an organization to weigh in formally as a governing body about perspectives on various bills and provisions. And so I'm opening this question up to say, how would you like staff to prepare anything or nothing, or how might we want to talking about housing and changes at the legislature, being mindful that the session ends in roughly 6 or 7 weeks, and so the timing of it is, I want to say, pressing but not immediate. I'll offer that.
Thank you for bringing that up, Mike. I know that I have been in conversations with a number of mayors about the housing bills that are out there, and I've been watching and paying attention to some of the changes that have been proposed. And quite frankly, in my discussions with a number of other mayors, we are really quite concerned about what the legislature is proposing. I think the goal is very admirable, but the way that they're going about it is one that is very concerning, especially here, I think, in Maplewood. For example, and this is in the missing middle housing bill, one of the things that's being proposed is that, and I mean, this troubles me because in Maplewood we have a number of homes that would be considered maybe starter homes. And if a developer bought a starter home in Maplewood, what they would be able to do, a single-family home, what they would be able to do is that they would be able to turn it into a sixplex. And they would not have to come before our planning commission or our design review. We basically would be getting rid of design review and our planning commission. And so if you think about that, having sixplexes replacing single-family homes in our neighborhoods, what's that going to do to our wastewater? What's that going to do to our traffic? What's that going to do to our roads when we are really not going to be able to weigh in and we're really getting rid of our citizen commissions? Now, as a mayor, I find that our citizen commissions are absolutely critical and we really rely on them. Well, they won't have anything to do any longer. And one of the things, too, that I'm very concerned about is that, admittedly, the Metropolitan Council is rather controversial. You know, there's a lot of different opinions out there about the Met Council. The way we interface with the Met Council is that cities are required to do comp plans, a comprehensive plan on what we're planning to do in terms of population, because the Metropolitan Council is the regional planner. And so they do wastewater, they do all sorts of things with transportation, and really, if we don't have any ability, if we don't have any local say on what's going to happen to zoning in our cities, then we won't need a comp plan, because that won't make any sense. So there's a lot of things that a lot of mayors are talking about. One of the things that I would like to see the city of Maplewood do is do a council resolution. The league is asking, and they're reaching out to cities and asking that the cities would do a resolution expressing their concern about some of these wild changes that they're proposing without really getting, you know, our input on what's going to be the impact on our cities. And I think the impact is going to be pretty significant, pretty significant. So that would be my recommendation, is that we do a resolution. Council members, your thoughts on that? Councilmember Cave.
No, I think I agree with everything you said about this whole legislation going through with the housing. Something that, you know, the reason why they want it is a good goal, but how they're going about it is not good for our city. And I think a resolution's easy for us to come up with and send to them.
Okay. And we'd be able then to vote on that at the next one. Councilmember Villavicencio, you were next.
Yes. I think, you know, my understanding is that that the zoning wouldn't be for the whole city, that it would be in certain areas. And part of the thought process is it's to support development around public transit. And I think if we are going to support things like the Purple Line in the city, then we have to also support housing around transit, because they won't be successful. Transit won't be successful if we don't change some of the development that's also around that development. So I think my thoughts are a little bit different, but you know, I also agree with you, though, that our commissions are very important to our community, and I don't want to ever lose that voice. So,
Okay. Councilmember Juniman, you were next.
Excuse me, I think we should do a resolution. That is the best way, I think, to try and communicate with them. And excuse me, all I can say is, once again, they can't do their own work, but they have to stick their noses into ours. Doesn't usually work well.
Thank you. Councilmember Lee.
Thank you, Mayor. I think it's critical to have our community folks that are in our conversations and building our city, co-creating our city. City manager, can we do a workshop on what this would look like, what the impact will look like? That way we can talk a little bit more about what this looks like before we put a resolution together. I'd be more interested in learning more. I know you provided some information for us too, but do we have enough content to really think about that long-term or short-term, what that'll look like at all?
Mayor, council members, Councilmember Lee, I think that the putting together of information is going to be difficult, because by the time we assemble it, it will likely change.
Change already.
So there's amendments, and as the legislative process moves forward, it will likely evolve. What I think we can put together for the council in either the FYI or as part of the packet information is a high-level summary of what is being considered, what are some of the potential impacts, and I think we can put that together quickly. Just know that whatever we do create will likely be different by May.
Okay. And I would like us as a city to have more control over that process too. So I am interested in revisiting what that resolution is going to look like.
Maybe what staff can do, I know, because I think I've read 3 different iterations of the bill, and it keeps on changing very, very quickly. So maybe as that happens, maybe staff can send links to it, and that way we can kind of keep up on what this is looking like. But I believe that, we've got 2 different bills in the House and the Senate, and then we're going to be looking at conference committees, and so it's, it's a little fluid, but I think the same principle is there, that it takes away local control. And like I said, I think everybody is in favor of more housing. That's not the issue. It's just, is this the best way to go about it? And that's what is of such a big concern to our cities. So does that give you some direction?
Mayor, council members, yes, I think so.
Okay. Thank you very much. Anything else?
I just want to also forecast for folks who might drive on Highway 36 that there's going to be a mill and overlay project on that stretch of roadway this summer. Certain segments of it will be under construction for more than 30 days. So we will be actively promoting what I expect to be a traffic disruption for many people in the community. And so we will I just want to put that on the radar. I don't think we can over-communicate some of the burden that people might experience if lanes are closed on a roadway that people use every day.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, moving on. Let's see. Councilmember Lee, you had talking about your public works experience.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. It's interesting you say that, City Manager, because snow season's over now, construction season's starting. So I just wanted to share with our community and council that this morning at 3 a.m. I had the privilege to join our plow team this morning. What an amazing experience. Our Public Works Director set me up with some of the best team this morning, and I joined Brent Buckley this morning in one of our amazing snowplow. Did some of the routes around the area here. You know, this was a really moody storm, I would say. That's probably the best way to describe it, but it was quite the challenge. But I think what this really showed me was the investment that we're making as a city, as a council. You know, it makes the life of our staff a lot easier. They're working more efficiently and effectively. I think there's so many, you know, you would think anyone can plow any street when you just get into a plow truck and just go. No. Brent was moving, he was releasing salt, he was putting the plows down. There's a lot of moving pieces to it. So thanks to our Public Works team. I do want to take a quick minute to just thank them all. I have a list that our Public Works Director has provided to me. I do want to give them all a shout out. Outside of that piece too, two quick tips before I get there. Folks, if we do have any more snowstorm, and I hope that we won't anymore, I do hope this is the last one. I hope that you want to remind all of you to keep your trash can on the curb and not in the street. That was a really common thing this morning. And if you have cars parked in the street, you know, please do remove them or take them out of the street. It makes plowing a lot easier, makes it more goes faster and smoothly for our drivers. So hopefully we don't have any more this year, but if it does come. So a quick shout out to all of our staff this morning. I got a good list here, so bear with me, council. So on behalf of the council and of all the 42,000 residents in the city of Maplewood, I want to thank all of you who are in Public Works. Worked with Troy this morning and Steve to give me this list. So the folks from Street and Storm Division: Bob Running, Brent Buckley, Doug Edge, Todd Tevlin, Jason Mulzik, John Herbst, Solomon Yang, Aiden Morris Carl, Tom Jordan, Brent Meissner, Matt Worrell, Don Jones, Jeff Wilbur. Thank you all. Those are the folks who were working the plow this morning. And then we had two who was on fleet maintenance who were supporting the plow drivers and their equipment: Steve Prem and Boon Zhang from the fleet maintenance crew. And then outside of that, we also have folks who help plow the fire station, parking lots, alleys, and trails. So thanks to Dave Adams and Joe Jensen from Sanitary Sewer Division. And outside of that, we have the City Hall, the Maplewood Community Center, our parks, and our sidewalks. So a lot of those got cleared. And so special shout out to Gary Hennenkamp from the Park Maintenance Division, David Freiberg, Tamara Hayes, John Noten, Jordan Orr, and Cal Stokes. You folks are amazing, and thank you for all the hard work that you do. All the work that you do does not go, we see it, we hear it, we know that you guys are there, so thank you. And Steve, thank you for your leadership to the wonderful Public Works team. I got a bunch of notes from folks from our city this morning. I did a posting on social media, and some of the comments that was shared with me was, Maplewood never fails. Another one here is, thank you for the early plow, amazing job, incredible, proud to live in Maplewood. And another one here says, my street was plowed when I left for work at 5 a.m. this morning. So thanks to all the folks who were a part of the snowstorm team this morning.
Thank you. Councilmember Juniman, city cleanup.
Saturday, April 13th, from 8 to 1 at Aldrich Arena, as usual. All the details were in our last city newsletter, our Maplewood Living. Things have changed a little bit. We're going to be charged per vehicle, car, truck, van, pulling a trailer, so on. But it makes it simpler, and you'll be able to take advantage of whatever's there. So you'll see all the options in your Maplewood Living. Put it on your calendar.
Thank you very much. And I had something, too, that I wanted to bring up. I have been I was talking with one of the other mayors, and so I went onto their website, and he told me something that they had that I thought would be a really good idea for us, something to add to our website, and I wanted to see what you thought about it. What they have on, and I've seen this on other cities as well, kind of surprised that we don't have it, but it is Visit with the Mayor and the Council. And it's basically a little paragraph that indicates that if you would like to contact or set up a meeting with either myself or our council, please contact the mayor or the council member, and then include our names, our phone numbers, and our emails on that one page. And then if you're unable to reach one of us, I think they, we've got a main number that's answered by a person during the workday that we could add that number on as well. That way it puts it all together. We could put it in the council section of our website. Just another thing, we can even use the language that they have, because it was really pretty nice, inviting people. If you want to set up a meeting, each council member and the mayor have their own schedule, so please, here's how to get a hold of people. What do you think? I see a lot of heads nodding. Okay,
Be good.
so we can add that onto our website, and I think it's I actually had someone who had mentioned that it was hard to find things, to find how to contact us. And so this is another way just one other way that we can reach out and people will get us. So, okay, and it's called Visit with the Mayor and Council. Councilmember Lee.
Mayor, can I add something to that too? I've seen it where some city council, they have like one email address for all council members, so that way folks don't have to type in my email, your email, and everyone else. I mean, would that be something that the council would be interested in entertaining, to having just one email, maybe to council@maplewood.gov or something like that?
Certainly staff can set that up
Makes it super easy to email all of us.
if they want to contact everybody at the same time. That's certainly a possibility. Mr. Sable, what do you think of that?
Mayor and council members, that's something we can do.
Okay, good enough. Thank you. Okay, and now, the reason why we have a crowd, and we're sitting up here trying to get through the rest of the business, because we know that you're not necessarily here to hear all about what we're talking about. So I will turn it over to our Public Safety Director, Chief Beardeman. We have two new police officers that we are going to be swearing in tonight. Thank you.
Good evening. We did have 3, and one is currently at the hospital having a baby, so
Okay,
they waited out and they,
Gee.
so I don't know about the commitment member part, but we'll give him a pass on this one, so, yeah. So we'll get him in a future one, but good evening. First and foremost, I want to extend my deepest gratitude to our esteemed mayor and honorable city council for your support and trust. I also wish to acknowledge the presence of our dedicated officers, public safety staff, as well as friends and family who have gathered here tonight to witness this rite of passage into a noble profession with the swearing in of police officers Rob Anderson and Emma Krall. To our new officers, today's ceremony is not merely about taking an oath. It's about embracing a calling. You have chosen to dedicate your lives to the service to others, to uphold the law, and to ensure the safety and well-being of our community. In the days to come, you will realize the significance of this moment, a moment that doesn't just mark the beginning of a career, but the undertaking of profound responsibility. You will be deeply humbled by the trust you have bestowed upon you, entrusting with the ultimate symbol of law and order, which is the police badge. The badge that will be pinned tonight represents our commitment to the guardianship of our community and its citizens. Although this badge weighs only 4 ounces, the true weight of the badge is never known by those who have not worn it. Being a police officer, being exposed to hundreds, if not thousands, of traumatic experiences, and having to make split-second and life-altering decisions, all while keeping your integrity and preserving the public trust, is a heavy burden. It's a luxury to pursue what makes you happy, but it's a moral obligation to pursue that which you find meaningful. That doesn't mean it's easy, and it requires great sacrifice. Remember that when this badge gets too heavy, many in our department and community are here to support you and help you to carry that weight. As a police chief, I take immense pride in our ongoing efforts to provide a safe and just community. I am inspired by officers such as Rob and Emma, who continue to answer the call to become police officers despite this challenging environment. But beyond the badge and uniform lies a profound sense of purpose. It is the knowledge that every day we have the opportunity to make a difference in someone's life, to offer hope in times of despair, and to bring justice to those who seek it. I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to the families and friends of our new officers. Your support, encouragement, and belief in their potential has been instrumental in their journey to this day. Today, as much as it is a day for our new officers, is also a day for you. Madam Mayor and Council, at this time I am proud to introduce to you Officers Anderson and Krall. If I could have both of them step forward. Officers Anderson and Krall have completed a rigorous background investigation, psychological and physical testing. They have completed their field training programs and have been certified for solo patrol. I can tell you that in the short time they've been here, they've already made positive impacts within our community. To Rob and Emma, I trust that you always conduct yourself in a manner that will validate the wisdom of the Maplewood Police Department having hired you, as opposed to the other unsuccessful candidates that want to wear the badge that will soon be pinned on your chest. I trust that you will always serve our community and this profession with pride and honor. And don't ever forget the high standards and expectations that we have for you as a member of the Maplewood Police Department. Congratulations and be safe. At this time, Officer Anderson will now be sworn in as badge 464. Step forward.
Raise your right hand. I, Rob Anderson, do solemnly swear
I, Rob Anderson, do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and of the state of Minnesota,
and of the state of Minnesota,
and faithfully discharge the duties
and faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of police officer
of the office of police officer
in the city of Maplewood,
in the city of Maplewood,
in the county of Ramsey,
in the county of Ramsey,
and the state of Minnesota,
and the state of Minnesota,
to the best of my judgment and ability.
to the best of my judgment and ability.
I will never betray my badge or my integrity,
I will never betray my badge or integrity,
my character, or the public trust.
my character, or the public trust.
I will always have the courage
I will always have the courage
to hold myself and others
to hold myself and others
accountable for our actions.
accountable for our actions.
Congratulations.
Oh, that's sweet.
Officer Krall will now be sworn in as badge 453.
I, Emma Krall, do solemnly swear
I, Emma Crowell, do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and of the state of Minnesota,
and of the state of Minnesota,
and faithfully discharge the duties
and faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of police officer
of the office of police officer
in the city of Maplewood,
in the city of Maplewood,
in the county of Ramsey,
in the county of Ramsey,
and the state of Minnesota,
in the state of Minnesota,
to the best of my judgment and ability.
to the best of my judgment and ability.
I will never betray my badge or my integrity,
I will never betray my badge or my integrity,
my character, or the public trust.
my character, or the public trust.
I will always have the courage
I will always have the courage
to hold myself and others
to hold myself and others
accountable for our actions.
accountable for our actions.
Congratulations.
if you guys take a photo with the council.
I had to give it though. I'd be nervous too if I was a little boy.
Councilmember Cave, thank you for letting the officer stay with you and for introducing her to Maplewood. That really is very cool that you have that connection, so thank you. Okay, council members, moving on to our consent agenda. We have 4 items. Would someone like to make a motion?
I motion consent agenda items G 1 through 4.
Second.
Moved by Cave, seconded by Juniman. Consent agenda items, G 1 through 4. Is there any discussion? I see Councilmember Villavicencio. Did you
I
want
just had
to?
a quick question for G3.
Okay, what's your question?
Well, I was just wondering, kind of, I saw that, we're going to buy like 300 tons of salt, which I don't deny that we probably need. But I was just wondering, like, if we don't use it all, like, do we give it away? Is it storing somewhere? Can we use it the next year?
You know, Councilmember Villavicencio, I had the same question and I asked it today.
Yes, Mayor and
Mr.
Council.
Love.
So we do have a salt shed that we store all the material in. We are ordering less than previous years. Obviously, with this last winter, I took a look last year. We ordered about, let's call it 1,000 tons of salt. But we also had a all-time record of snow last year. It followed up by very little snow, but we have to be ready for that all-time record snow. So we do keep the snow. The contracts are generally a 80-120 contract, so that means we commit to purchasing 80%, but we can purchase up to 120% of that contract. So
At
it
that
gives
same rate.
At that same rate. So it gives us some flexibility depending on the weather.
And the salt that we aren't using this year will be stored and used next year. Yeah. Okay, so we had a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Then all those in favor of consent agenda G 1 through 4 signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries. We have no public hearings or unfinished business. We have new business tonight. City Clerk Sint, this is your topic.
Yes, thank you, Mayor and Council. So tonight, we have White Bear Avenue Business Association here requesting council approve a lawful gambling premises permit to operate at Unison Restaurant and Banquet Hall at 1800 White Bear Avenue, Suites A and B. Currently, the association does not have a premise permit in Maplewood. They do, however, have one at the Cherry Pit just down the road. And they have actually been in the charitable gambling business for many, many years and have used the proceeds and have incorporated them back into the neighborhood as they are meant to do. As the gambling manager, the city ran a background check on Kelly Ellsworth, and the background results indicated no reason to deny the permit. And so we are recommending that council motion to approve the resolution for a lawful gambling premises permit for White Bear Avenue Business Association to conduct the lawful gambling at Unison. The motion in the packet says 1800 White Bear Avenue. We do need to add on suites A and B, just to be clear, because there is another suite there that is a fitness center. They are not going to be doing it in that suite. And then Kelly Ellsworth is here to answer any questions you may have.
Okay, so the motion, just so that I'm clear, it should be 1800 White Bear Avenue North A and B?
Suites A and B.
A and B, okay. Ms. Ellsworth, would you like to join us?
I think I'm the only one left.
Don't feel bad.
No, it makes it much easier for
Yeah.
me to speak. Well, good evening. Thanks
Good
so
evening.
much for seeing me. I do have a little bit of a speech and some statistics to go over if you guys would like to hear.
Sure.
That would be great. Okay. Well, good evening, Madam Mayor, City Council members, and staff. My name is Kelly Ellsworth. I live in St. Paul. I am a transplant from the state of Oregon. I've lived out here in St. Paul since 1999. I went to Hamline University and graduated from there, so I'm well aware of, go Pipers, well aware of the city of St. Paul and Maplewood area. I've been a gambling manager with White Bear Avenue Business Association for about 1.5 years, but I've been within the gambling business with the company for over 6 years. And I've come to talk about our application for the charitable gambling at Unison. First, let me provide you with some statistics about charitable gambling within the state of Minnesota. A lot of people aren't aware of how beneficial they can be for the state. Allowed gambling in Minnesota includes paper, electronic pull tabs, paper and electronic bingo, raffles, paddle wheels, and tip boards. As of June 30th, 2023, there were 1,144 licensed organizations conducting lawful gambling at over 3,000 locations within the state of Minnesota. For fiscal year ending in 2023, gross receipts, so total sales, that for the state of Minnesota was $4.6 billion in lawful gambling, a record high. This is a 7.5 increase from fiscal year ending in 2022. And Minnesota lawful gambling gross receipts have increased over 275% in the past 10 years. The net profit, so total sales minus the prizes and allowable expenses, totaled $330 million for the state, a 1.5 increase from fiscal year in 2022. Licensed and exempt nonprofit organizations used lawful gambling to raise approximately over $157 million for their charitable missions. State taxes paid on lawful gambling receipts totaled in $193 million in the past year, a 7.2% increase from 2022. And pull tabs made up of 96% of the total sales. Paper pull tabs was 44.7%, and electronic pull tabs went up to 51.5%. So that is the first time that electronic pull tabs on the tablet went above the paper pull tabs. So electronic tablets are really on the rise right now. Paper bingo gross receipts totaled $79 million, a 3.7 increase from 2022. As I'm sure you've seen, a lot of sites in the area and a lot of different bingo halls are popping up all over the area. It's becoming very, very popular. So White Bear Avenue Business Association has been around for over 15 years as a charitable nonprofit licensed and regulated organization by the Gambling Control Board, and we are well known within our local and surrounding communities. Each year, our organization donates profits back to our community, and organizations we have donated to in the past few years that I've been in charge have included District 2 Community Council, Ramsey County Agricultural Society, Johnson High School Wrestling, the Heights Community School, Eastside Wrestling, the Hazel Park Learning Center, Every Meal, the Eastside Salvation Army, the Maplewood Salvation Army, Merrick Food Shelf, the North St. Paul Food Shelf, Mom's Food Shelf, Family Values for Life, Northeast Seniors for Better Living, the Eastside Boys and Girls Club, the North End Neighborhood organization, which is District 6, Eastside Freedom Library, and the Neighborhood Development Center, and also Small Sums. We have applied for a site permit to begin charitable gambling at Unison, and that includes paper pull tabs and electronic pull tabs with e-linked bingo, which is bingo that you play on the electronic pull tabs, And also to be able to do raffles and bingo, paper bingo in the future if we so feel that it would do beneficial there. We feel that allowing us to begin charitable gambling at Unison can not only benefit the city of Maplewood with our organization's annual charitable donations, but also the state of Minnesota as well. Benefits to the city of Maplewood, it would include a 10% monthly tax of our net receipts from the Unison site profits, along with annual donations to 501(c) nonprofit organizations within the city of Maplewood. Unison would also get a percentage of the net receipt profits that they bring in from pull tabs at 20% and for e-tabs at 15%, and it also will help to support a minority-owned business within the city of Maplewood. Thank you for the opportunity to speak this evening and for your time and consideration.
Thank you, Kelly.
Yes.
Council members, any questions? If not, then we have a motion before us. Would someone like to make it?
Motion to approve the resolution for a lawful gambling premises permit for White Bear Avenue Business Association to conduct gambling activities at Unison Restaurant and Banquet LLC at 1800 White Bear Avenue North, Suite A and B.
Second.
Moved by Lee, seconded by Cave. Just by a
Oh, it was
moment,
me.
just a,
Juniman.
oh, June. was it
Councilmember
Juniman? I thought it
Juniman.
was,
Was like,
okay. All right, I'm trying to catch the voices because everyone wants to approve. Okay. So moved by Lee, seconded by Juniman. The motion to approve the resolution for a lawful gambling premises permit for White Bear Avenue Business Association to conduct gambling activities at Unison Restaurant and Banquet LLC, 1800 White Bear Avenue North, Suite A and B. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries. Thank you and welcome.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Moving on, we have one more item tonight, the Maplewood Street Improvement City Project, 2308. Mr. Love, this is your topic tonight.
Yes, good evening, Mayor and Council. I have if I could get the map that's on the overhead to pull up. So it's just a quick reminder, this map shows the project area for our 2024 Maplewood Street Improvement projects. On the bottom portion, the portion called East Shore Drive, this section of the project lies south of Frost Avenue and north of Larpenter Avenue, and it's just northeast of Lake Phalen. These streets are proposed to be fully reconstructed, and when we say fully reconstructed, it's a whole new street section. It's adding concrete curb and gutter, new storm sewer, water main replacement, so it's really the full package there. It also includes two streets, Sophia and I, just off to the right there. It looks like an upside-down T. The streets around it were previously done as a project, but this was a little area that we captured to complete that neighborhood there. Up on the top there, there's the Cypress Maplewood Drive area. These are our full-depth reclamation projects. So these projects really primarily concentrate on pavement conditions. So this is where we grind up the asphalt, we mix it with the underlying base, that creates a new base for the road, and then we add on a new pavement section there. There's some other minor improvements such as spot curb replacement, but the roads there lie north and south of County Road C, generally along Maplewood Drive there. With our street projects each year, there are a couple other improvements that we do that are not on site on project. We also do a sanitary sewer lining project. So this is lining a lot of our old clay sewer pipes. And then we also do a fog sealing of past project streets. And this helps extend the life of the projects. A couple of years ago, or 2 years ago, I believe it was, we had the Jarvis Avenue Street Improvement Project. So part of that project included a wooden retaining wall that was to be replaced along Jarvis and Maplewood Drive there. It got delayed a year because there was a major fiber optic relocation that had to happen for us to repair that wall. And then since that time, the contractor T.A. Shifskis and Sons has informed us that they're closing shop and they're not going to be in business anymore. And so what we're proposing is to bid it out as a bid alternative on this project. The funds that we had set aside for the project as part of the Jarvis project will still move towards completing this project. So I wanted to call that out, that it would be a bid alternate as part of the plan set. The overall project is estimated to cost around $10,878,000. This includes a 10% contingency and 12% overhead. Looking at the schedule, the next important dates would be that the bid opening would be on April 24th, and the council would look for an item to award contract on May 13th. And with that, council, there's two motions in front of you. The first one is a motion to approve the attached resolution approving plans and specification and advertising bid for the 2024 Maplewood Street Improvement Projects. And the second one is a motion to approve the attached resolution ordering preparation of assessment roll for the 2024 Maplewood Street Improvement Projects. I do want to note that the assessment hearing would take place later in September of this year. And with that, I'm available for any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Love. Are there any questions? Seeing none, then all those there are two motions. Who would like to make the first motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the attached resolution approving plans and specifications and advertising bids for the 2024 Maplewood Street Improvements City Project 23-08.
Second.
Moved by Villavicencio, seconded by Juniman. The motion to approve the attached resolution approving plans and specifications and advertising bids for the 2024 Maplewood Street Improvements City Project 23-08. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries. We have a second motion.
Motion to approve the attached resolution ordering preparation of assessment roll for the 2024 Maplewood Street Improvements City Project 23-8.
Second.
Moved by Lee, seconded by Juniman, the motion to approve the attached resolution ordering preparation of assessment roll for the 2024 Maplewood Street Improvements City Project 23-08. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries. There you go. They're both approved. And we have no award of bids. And so therefore, I am going to adjourn. Thank you, everyone, and good night.